Some of my specific symptoms were lower back pain and stiffness and immobility, and they limited what I could do, what I could lift, how I could bend, how long I could sit, and basically it sort of hampered my life on a daily basis. Some of the things that I could not do were bending over for very long at a time, or picking something up that was beyond a weight that I think I should carry, or carrying a weight even. Walking with a weight, moving furniture. Everyone moves things once in a while in their life. Well, you have to be careful when your back is bothering you. And this was a constant aggravation.
You mentioned to me beforehand driving. Tell us about it.
Driving was also an aggravation, because it seemed the longer I sat, the worse the symptom would appear and aggravate me. And would have to take some breaks and get out and stretch up a little, and the longer I drove, the worse it would get. And so driving was one of the symptoms that aggravated me the most, having to sit and drive for very long. My specific condition was a herniated or bulging disc in my lower back that apparently was causing nerve damage, and reflected that in my muscles and how they responded and hurt and ached, and occasionally would spasm, and then that would really, of course, put me down. So that was my specific cause for the problem in my lower back. Before I came to Dr. Palmer, I'd seen chiropractors throughout my life. This problem has bothered me for several years. And I gained a minimum degree of relief through chiropractic movements, but it was always an ongoing problem, and ongoing procedures would be necessary for relief. I seen Dr. Palmer's ad on a television ad, and right away the idea of spinal decompression struck a note in me, because it seemed like I always felt like my lower back felt somewhat compressed, and certain stretching exercises in a decompressing type fashion, bending over and such, seemed to help. So the idea of spinal decompression sounded like it may be something for me. So I contacted Dr. Palmer's office, and they asked me a series of questions, and then had me come in. And then I interviewed with Dr. Palmer, and he asked me more specific questions, and found out that after an initial MRI indicating what my problem was, which was the herniated disc, that yes, I was a good candidate, and that he could help me. My experience on the machine was different, to say the least, from what I've ever experienced before, and I would say that after watching first other patients on the machine, it seemed that they were laying there as though they were laying there enjoying themselves, listening to music. And I couldn't figure out how such a procedure was going to work for someone if they're just laying there listening to music and enjoying themselves for a few minutes. And so I really couldn't wait to get on there and try it myself. And true enough, it's a sensation, yes. But it's nothing that will be discomforting to you, that you think, well, perhaps this is more than I should do. It's a rather comfortable procedure that I think anyone could go through, and be glad you did. Oh, the staff, I tell you, is absolutely tremendous. The staff is very knowledgeable, very helpful, very friendly, and you feel very comfortable here. I had been suffering from back pain most of my adult life. I had somewhat of an injury when I was a child, and it didn't really affect me until I started my adulthood. And then the more I did in life, the more I picked things up, carried things, and such, the more it started bothering me, and it was just an on and off constant aggravation, and sometimes debilitating. And when I heard about Dr. Palmer's spinal decompression procedure, I just thought, well, this has got to be for me, because it just sounds like something I need, and that's why I came in and inquired. And true enough, it did work, and it worked fabulous, and I feel fabulous. I have no more back pain, and I'm able to bend over, pick up, carry things, and I would say if anyone is suffering from back pain, and they think that this may be something that could benefit them, don't hesitate. Call Dr. Palmer and come in and see if you would be a good candidate, because you'll be glad you did. If you're asking if I'm limited as to what I can do, I'd have to say no. I seem to be able to enjoy activities, whatever I want to do, without any pain, and it's been quite the procedure that it claimed to be. I'm totally 100% satisfied. Well, the experience with Dr. Palmer is more all-encompassing. That is to say, he specifically targets your specific problem area and finds out exactly what's causing your problem, where it's coming from, and targets that specific area, and then makes the adjustment to correct it. And that's what works. You know, the thought of further being debilitated in the future, as it seemed to progress, and as most people with back problems know, it doesn't heal by itself, and the longer you go, the worse it gets, and the more you try to do, the worse it seems to be on you. So if there was a fear of the future in that condition, for that condition, back problem, it was that it would, of course, keep getting worse and worse. And if you don't do something, you're faced with certain inevitabilities, which is you're being more and more debilitated as time goes on. I would say being skeptical is normal. Being skeptical is probably a good thing, because you want to weigh one thing against the other and make a good decision. And I too was skeptical to a degree, and that's a healthy thing. But I would recommend that you make the call, ask the questions, let them ask some questions, and find out for yourself what they have to say, what they have to offer. And after you've gained that knowledge, then you can make a informed decision about what to do about your condition. You know, the future is a funny thing. Sometimes we don't know what's going to happen next, and sometimes we try to plan for what's going to happen next. But for me, having the debilitation of a back problem hampered me in many ways, in travel, in work. But with the onset of this procedure that I just experienced, which was totally wonderful, and I had 100% satisfaction. I had 100% satisfaction with the procedure from Dr. Palmer, and it has enabled me to feel like I have a new back. And along with the new back, I also have a new career with Century 21 M&M and Associates in Lodi, in which I'm enjoying some grand success. And it's all due to my new outlook on life, I'd say. New back, new outlook on life.